What up, what up, what up, what up? We in the house, we in the house, we are in the house. Not a hospital, but a house. If you can understand that. First of all, I want to start off the show. I got to start the show off right. You know I got to start the show off right. If you are watching us right now, in this time and effort and minute, in some words you might not understand, but you're going to understand this. You are blessed because God has woke you up to another day. You should be thankful. Not for us, but God. So I just had to say that. But yes, today, man, listen, we have a beautiful show lined up for you. And if you are like a nurse or something like that and you've been struggling, man, look, you need to call somebody else that's struggling and tap in. I'm telling you. And it's going to be a very, very live show today. You're going to love this show. You're going to get a lot of information. So get your pencil, your pad, whatever you got to get, you chop your fingers, whatever. Get your muscles together. Get them together because it's going to be live. You ready? So today on our, you know what? I'm going to sit back. I'm going to let my wife do the honors.
Today we have Mr. Nicholas Thomas. He's the code breaker of NCLEX. If anybody out there who's having struggling, like my husband said, please tune in, call somebody to watch this because you're right there. You are a nurse. You right there. You just need to pass the boards. And sometimes that can be, don't mean that you don't know it. Sometimes you just be not a good test taker. So we're gonna introduce, we're gonna go along and we're just gonna introduce and you tell who you are.
I'm Tamara. I am a pediatric emergency room nurse at Cincinnati Children's.
And I'm Nick. I'm one of the primary educators, owner of Codebreaker NCLEX, and I am blessed and thankful to help so many people around the world, not just this country, and everybody in this room to help become a nurse if they have difficulty and struggles with that.
My name is Lindsay. I'm a mom-baby nurse at Good Sam, and then I'm also a nurse for the University of Kentucky Athletics Department.
Hi, I am Chandra, and I am an LPN at a nursing home.
Hi, I'm Pamela. I'm one of Nick's students.
My name's Tony. I am a nurse at the medical ICU at St. Elizabeth in Edgewood.
Awesome. All these nurses, give them applause. We don't always get applaud or rewarded, but at least we can get some applause going on for our work that we do. Nick, so tell me, how long have you been doing the Codebreaker at the NCLEX?
It's been going on about 6 years. I've been doing the NCLEX. Fortunately, I have one of my first students ever, who's also in the photo on my social media on the initial page, Miss Lindsay in the class. And back then, I was a lot more nervous in the process, implementing some of the stuff and helping people succeed. So at that point, I was telling her on the way here, I've learned just as much from them being in my class and giving me feedback on how to deliver education in a way that's understandable, friendly, and it just makes sense. So I need these students just as much as they'll probably say they need me, but everybody can pass the test. It's just a matter of time and finding the person that's going to help you out.
Yep. Amen.
Awesome. So Nick, how long have you been a nurse?
I've been a nurse. It's like my wife asked me how old I am. I never remember how. Right. I'll tell you about myasthenia gravis, but it's been about 12 years as a nurse, but I've been working in healthcare. I've been in the emergency department for going on 16 years, and I was working in long-term care for 2 or 3 years before that. So I've been in healthcare for going on 20 years.
Okay.
But I've been an RN for 12.
Okay, awesome. So for you to want to help people with the NCLEX and pass the boards, what inspired you to do that?
Honestly, I think when I was in nursing school, I'm not gonna lie, there's a guy out there, Mark Clemec, everybody knows that guy. But I felt like when I was in nursing school, I was like, I can do that. I've always had a gift of accumulating information and explaining things. And to be honest with you, maybe just talking too much, right? But I think throughout my life, just to be direct and honest with you, we all go through some trauma. And I looked around in nursing school, and there was the problem with the nursing students that were my peers, and they were going through it. Like some of them are having kids, some of them are in unique, difficult relationships with men. Some people were like just suffering through hardships. That's why we're going to college in the first place, right? And then you look around and there's these different groups of educators. Like even some of mine, I was thankful and blessed to have some of the teachers I had, but I went through 3 nursing schools because one of the programs was extremely difficult. They weren't really student advocates. And it's like, I want to be the person that can explain what you need to know to pass the test. And I want to do it in a way where the person that's listening knows that I actually care that they're going to succeed. Because when this is done, like people's life changes like that. Just like that, their life changes financially, freedom, job security, go whatever state, do whatever you want, make whatever. You can do anything. And it happens that quick. And all you got to do is care about what you're doing and the person that you're helping.
Right.
Okay, hold up. So how did you get the name Code Breaker? Was that some arrogancy, or was it like, hey, I can break codes?
So look, as an ER nurse, like we all pride ourselves like on being like really, really hardcore. Like we save lives, we run codes, right?
Right.
So I'm driving to Nashville. My brother, I love my brother to death, and he's gonna help me make a web page and all this stuff. And I'm like, code breakers. So analyzing the NCLEX is like breaking the code. I run codes. I can explain codes. I'm code breaker, and then NCLEX. I help everybody pass the NCLEX.
Right.
It just came to. I'm telling you, I don't know if it even sounds good still to this day. I don't even know, but it's been working. It's got the followers, so I gotta keep it now.
Yeah. I think it sounds good because Chan came running up. The code breaker. I'm like, who's the code breaker? What'd he do? He broke the code for me. So yes. Okay, yeah. I definitely think you deserve the name, the code. You say you've been doing it how many years?
I've been doing it for 6 years.
6 years. So you came a long way, but you have a long way to go. What do you see in the future of your legacy of breaking codes? What do you see?
Man, I want to help everybody. As far as it goes, I get students. I pride myself in uniquely delivering education and really caring about the people. So I only take 30, 40 people in one class. I get people from Africa, Sierra Leone. There's people that attend from South Africa live on my classes in 6 weeks. Haiti, Philippines, but it doesn't, people right here, New York, Florida, California, Texas, everywhere in between. I could probably drive or go to any state and call somebody up because the people that I help really, they turn into, friendships.
Right.
But the goal is to really help everybody I can. I'm going to record some videos. I'm going to create a learning management system where people can log in and just get really understandable. I feel like I should be going live every night and saying like, what is it that you all can't figure out? Let me just explain it real quick. Right. Because I can do that on nearly any topic.
Right.
Because I've taught it all from the ER. I'm ACLS, PALS, BLS certified. I teach critical care nurses how to run codes. Right. I've worked in the ICU. I've worked in long-term care. I've worked in rehab. I've worked in all the different environments where they ask unique different questions. So when I teach, I speak from experience. And I think that's a problem with educators is sometimes, and I don't speak negatively about anybody, but I think some people can improve based on the understanding because they was in that environment. And I think that's why I do well with explaining it because I've touched nearly every patient with every diagnosis that I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I'm sorry because my answer is just too long right now. But man, I truly want to help everybody. I want to wake everybody up to say, if you're struggling, what I pride myself in is people call me and they're like, in this last class that we just had, Kadaji, she graduated from a school in Africa 12 years ago. And she took a 6-week class and now she's a nurse here. Right. And that's the story I get. When I was working at the hospital, I created the NCLEX program for the local hospital, magnet hospital system with 10,000 employees in 5 hospitals. I've done it from the ER nurse to all that, but I became an education specialist. I was a college professor. I taught pharmacology. Everybody's scared of pharmacology. But I love helping everybody. New grads need help. Everybody needs that person just to say, I've been doing this, you deserve this too. And everybody does. They can do it. Because there's this imposter syndrome, which is a whole nother conversation we can have, right?
Right.
But I can tell everybody, like, don't worry, you can do this. I'll pull you. Like, let's go. I'll drag you across this thing, whether you like it or not. I'll drag you across, and we're gonna do it. But the ones I wear on my heart are the people that, it's so special. Like, one of them was diagnosed with cancer, and she wanted to become a nurse, and I helped her become a nurse. That was a while ago. And some people have other circumstances, like they don't feel like they deserve it because something happened in their lives or something. It's not just teaching the information. It's working with people through whatever's going on with them and believing in themselves, or saying, quit working twice the amount for half the pay. Let's get some perspective on all of this. And this class is really, it's transformative is the word I would use for real.
Okay, so Lindsay, that's your name, right?
Yes.
Lindsay. Okay, so you know, like when you go through nursing school and they say they're teaching for NCLEX, which they really don't.
Not at all. Not at all.
They do not teach for NCLEX. So when he said you was his first student, so did you take the test and fail, and then? So tell us your story behind how you.
So I was actually in nursing school during COVID. So that was a completely different experience within itself. And it was more just professors talking at us, reading PowerPoints to us, reading the book to us, essentially. And it's like, well, I can do that. That's not helping me. So I actually worked at the hospital where he had started. We actually go way back.
Way back.
Where he had started a program there, and I took a class, and that alone increased like my HESI score, which there's like ATI and HESI. My school did HESI. That increased my HESI score by it was like 200 or 300 points, that class alone. I took my NCLEX right after I graduated, failed it. So obviously I knew immediately who to call, because he had been talking about starting his 6-week course. And I was like, I need that. So I actually quit my job as a CNA at the hospital and just like buckled down for that 6 weeks. Anything he said, I did. I failed my first one. I got all the questions. I took the entire 5 hours, failed it. And then after the class, took it, 75 questions, 2 hours, done, passed.
Awesome.
So you were one of his first pupils.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We were his trial run class.
So what's your name again?
Tamara.
Tamara. So you took the class also?
Yes,
so.
I did.
Okay, so tell us your story.
Okay. So I graduated in 2021. I took the NCLEX 4 or 5 times, actually. After I failed each time, I'm one of those like really independent people. So I'm like, oh, I can just do this and I'll pass. Or the next time I'll try something else. Like, I can figure this out on my own. I can do this. Like, I don't need anybody to tell me.
Oh man.
Yeah, I learned very quick that does not work. So I signed up for Nick's class. I actually took Nick's class 2 times. The first time I was like, he's helping everybody pass. I just got to sit in here and listen and, I'll pass the class. But no, that humbled me very quick. I did learn a lot from that class, but I did take my NCLEX and I did fail. So I came back to Nick, crying like, hey, can I please take your class again? I'm serious this time. I have a 6-year-old daughter, so I'm very busy with that as well. I told him I'm going to buckle down. I dropped my hours at work, my family, my support system, we were all in it together. I stopped making excuses for what I was doing, like if my daughter's sick, I'm like, oh, I can't make it to class today, stuff like that. So I took Nick's class again and I ended up passing. I can't remember how many questions because my brain was just, everywhere. But yeah, I did what I had to do that second time so that I wasn't in the same position again. So,
Awesome.
So you put the bottle down. You put it down.
yeah. 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 I also have ADHD and chronic migraines and anxiety. So, I went and got medicated, which helped a lot. When my daughter was sick, I would tell Nick, hey, we're going to be at the library in a room. I would rent out a room at the library and still be on Zoom. She'd be on the other side with her iPad and, snacks, and I still made it happen. So just not making excuses for yourself.
Really dedicated.
Yes, like you have, and it's just 6 weeks. Like 6 weeks flies by so fast, you don't even realize. And sorry, it's just something I'm really passionate about because it's like you put in 6 weeks of a time, and since April, my life has changed like tremendously. Like every time I pass somebody, they're just like, I'm so proud of you, everything you're doing. I bought a house. I work at a top hospital in the country. I went to Cabo for my 30th birthday. I leave for the Bahamas next week. Like my daughter's Christmas stuff is done. Like it's just like everything is just happening so fast. So it really is a blessing, honestly. And I'm forever thankful for Nick. So
Right. Chandra.
Just to chime in, what I can't explain is somebody's going to call me and say, Nick, what can you do in the 6 weeks? And accountability is one of the things. It's going to be discipline. Yeah. Now, she called me back the second time, and when she called me back the second time, I tell everybody you're 2 and out. I'm not going to take your money for the class, and you're going to keep failing. Like you're representing my work, but also it's ethically, I don't want to keep taking your money if you ain't going to try. Like I don't want, to be looked at as being opportunistic or, God being unfavorable because I'm taking money like it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But everybody's got a special story that I love here. And with Tamara, after she passed, she texted me the week after she passed. Do you remember what you said in the text?
yeah, I think like I'm on a beach right now. Was it something like that?
Looking
like
at,
I was just
job applications.
yeah. I was filling out job applications, laying on the beach in Florida. So
Thank you.
just like that was literally the week after. I was like, you know what? Let's go to Florida. It's spring break. We hopped on a plane and went from there.
And this nervous Nelly, because I know everybody. Now Lindsay, when she took, because I was doing proctored, and the very first time, I don't know if you remember this, because I remember these things vividly.
I do.
So I gave them time. I step away, and you all need to take 100 questions, and see how you do. And I walked downstairs to check on her. She came and got me, one or the other, and she was crying. It was at the end of the 6 weeks. It was like one of these last, how are you doing?
Yeah. It was like we'd done at the beginning, like a pre-class test. And then at the end, we were doing another one as like to see how far we had like improved, possibility of passing the NCLEX, all of that stuff. And so we took it like the actual NCLEX, like we went in, had nothing on us, headphones, all the things to make it seem like we were actually taking the NCLEX. And so then my results popped up at the end of that test, and I ran and got you.
And why were you crying?
And I was crying because it said I had like a 98% pass rate of the NCLEX, which was not my percentage pass rate when we started the 6 weeks.
It was special. And then Miss Chan, not to take truly everybody's special to me, every person. But Mama Bear, Miss Chan, go on and answer, please forgive me.
Just tell me
My story
with Nick.
I met him through Pam. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it a try because I was spending so much money on different material. And I'm like, something, I took the NCLEX twice and failed twice. So I'm like, something, I'm going to, it's worth it. So I'm going to do it. So the first week, it was good. I was getting the hang of it. The second week, I'm like, oh, Lord. I called Pam. I said, something? I don't think something, we're going to have to do something different. She was like, I said, because it's getting hard. I said, it's getting even harder now. I was like, but something? We got to stick to it. This is what we want. We got to stay dedicated. So okay, he said do 25 questions, I did 50 questions. He said do 75 questions, I do 100 questions. And I stopped, doing the things I was doing, stopped, hanging out, and I really put my feet down. And it was like time I was going to bed, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It was like I was just drained. I felt like I was drained. The last week, I said, Pam, I think I'm sick. I got to go to the hospital. I said, I think something going on. But I think I was just mental. Because I'm, it's like, it's almost trying to take this exam. And it's like, you just get nervous now. But I ended up taking it, and it cut off 85. I said, oh, I feel this. I feel because last time when I did take it, it was 85 when it cut off. So everybody was like, oh, mine did it at 125, mine did it at 90. I said, but I knew mine had did it at 85, right? I said, well, mine did it at 92. I said, tell nobody did it at 85, but I knew it cut out at 85, right? I'm like, everybody else said theirs is high, I'm saying mine high. And I said, mine cut off at 92. So I'm like, cool. I passed too then, you hear me? But I ended up passing though. So. And I really appreciate you. I mean, he's really good. I mean, he taught me something that I took 13 months to do in 6 weeks. Wow. So I got to give it, it's worth it.
Now, Miss Chan, because there's always like a little, Chan was serious about when she came in, right? My obstacle with students is finding out their barriers and what's going on. Is it the anxiety? Is it the lack of work? Like, let's be real, you know, and I can see when it is. Because I got a dashboard where I can see when they're doing their test, how many questions they're doing, what are the scores when they do them, how long they take on their questions. And I meet every week, one to one,
yes, he
to get feedback. They will message me till 9, 10 o'clock at night, and they will get a response every time. Right? That's what you're paying for, somebody that really cares about you, right? So what I love about Chan is she was the one that was in it. She was always, and then you can read Chan like a book with her face, right? You've known her for a long time. I've known her for 6 weeks. But when somebody in class has an excuse, Chan said, we see through that. Because Chan was about her business, and I wish a lot of students. Chan was really about her business. Not to say other people ain't, but she's like, one, I paid this much. This is a premium course. It ain't cheap because my outcomes are real. You show up, you ain't gonna get this anywhere else, right? But Chan came in, took it seriously. I didn't know about this. I don't know if we're gonna do this anymore week 2. But when she showed up, she worked hard, and I'm and I'm thankful for that. Like, I will not let anybody down. You work as hard as me, this is gonna be it. And nobody takes my class and fails with 85. Like,
yeah, I'm like, I got 90. Everybody in high school, I'm like, I got 92, and everybody got 100. I ain't gonna tell a man cut off 85, man cut off 92. And I'm like, hey, Pam, man, we can cut off 85. I ain't gonna tell them that. She's like, you is crazy. I'm like, sure. I don't know why I said 92 shit.
So Pamela,
Yes.
tell us your.
I met Nick through a couple people that took his class from work that I think they had felt the NCLEX about, somebody failed 7 times, 4 times, however many times. And they were letting me know, like, he's really good. He's really, really good. So I'm like, let me try it. And it was like 3 people, I think it was, that told me how good he was. So I was like, let's try it, Chan. Let's give it a try. We ain't done everything else. Let's give it a try. I can honestly say with Nick, I learned so much with Nick, so much. So when I went to take I took his class twice. When I went to take my NCLEX the first time, anxiety. When I got, so on my way there, my driver's license had expired. Right. My husband take me back home to get my passport. Can't find my passport, and it's always in a certain spot. Can't find my passport. So my husband was like, let's just try it anyway. Let's go up there anyway. I get there. The lady was super, super nice. She let me go get my license. She said, just bring the paper back. My anxiety was so bad when I got in that seat. It was unreal. I was like, so I'm taking the test. I'm like, I know this. But it was like a total brain freeze. So, but I can honestly say Nick knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. I learned so much with Nick. In those 6 weeks, I've learned so much. I know for a fact I got it this time.
All right. Yes. Yes.
She gonna do it. Now, Miss Pam, when I come to class, what I love about Pam is that beautiful smile she has right now. She carries that every day. She's super sweet. I've described a couple people like this, but Pam is a warm hug, right? So even for a professor, like, I'm putting it all out there, trying hard to get people to move that don't want to move, the immovable force, right, to get into work. And Pam just look at me like, Nick, if they ain't gonna do it, that's on them. You got to do, as best you can. Her and Chan definitely have like a clear vision of what reality is, and they ain't scared to say that, share it, and be accountable for what they're doing. I mean, there's a lot of respect in that.
Awesome. Yeah, great things. Tony.
Hello.
Hello.
We gotta watch this guy.
Yeah. I'm kind of the off ball. So my story, I've known Nick for since we started working together at the hospital, like 23, 24 years ago, right? So I've known Nick. Nick's one of my best friends. He's a brother to me. So my relationship with Nick is a little bit different than most people that come into his class, right? So I've known Nick for a long time, and to be honest with you, I can't stand to listen to Nick talk a lot of times.
Pretty transparent.
But he is, but like he's a hype man. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a big part of the reason why we've been able to be friends for so long, because we both got a lot of the same clear visions about life and about work ethic and about this, and like we're always upbeat and hyping things up. So I knew, like, I was around when Nick first started talking about doing this NCLEX Codebreaker learning stuff, and you know I was always telling him, "Dog, go do it. Like, go do it." You know, and there's a lot of doubt that comes with starting your own business and dealing with the public, and he really, really holds people's relationships and their feelings, and he truly, truly does care about people succeeding in their goals in life. Like we conversate at least once a week, and he'll just call me randomly and be like, "Hey man, you see this idea? You know, why don't you go do this, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Nick, dog, like save it." Right? Like, I'm already there with you. I took his 4-day class. I've been in healthcare for 23 years. Worked in the ER for 20. I just graduated back in 2022. Took my NCLEX the same month of December. Actually went out and bought me a car before I even passed my NCLEX because I had so much confidence I was going to pass. I took his 4-day class, and I honestly learned more in 4 days than I probably did for the whole first year and a half of nursing school. Because it was really broken down to me in people terms, which that's how I learn, you know, because I just understand when you speak it to me in normal terms and not so much, because like pharmacology, I hated it.
Thank
We
you,
never studied
y'all.
in school. But I learned in 4 days more about medications just from his lambs and Pams. Like a little goofy song that he was breaking out in class, like in the 4-day class. And a funny story, Nick went with me to take my NCLEX. We went down to Lexington the night before, and we stayed up. We studied till like 11 o'clock at night, and I don't know if I should probably tell this story on Nick. But
Yeah, go on. Do it.
the man kept me up till like 3 o'clock in the morning, sawing logs.
Look, your boy dropped his LB since then. You know what I mean? Like,
He was sawing logs. And I'm over there, I'm all covered up. I'm like, man, ain't no way. So literally, when I walked into my test, I was mind fogged. I couldn't, like, I was sleep deprived. But all the training and all the class, all the education and stuff that I learned in these 4 days, literally, like, it was stuck right there.
Right.
And I think, what was the most max questions? 160, 140? Then?
250.
Okay, well, I took 160 to the face. Sitting there, that self-doubt the whole time. When I got out, I jumped in the car and I'm cussing. I'm like, ain't no way I passed, blah, 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 blah. I was cussing so loud with the windows up in the middle of December. This poor little elderly lady was sitting next to the stoplight. She looked over, windows up, and was like, probably said a prayer for me. Please bless this man, he's gonna do some things. But, man, when I found out the next morning that I passed, that was like probably one of the biggest accomplishments of my life.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
next to having my family with me, my 2 sons, you know, because I was 40 years old. 40 years old when I passed. Like, been in healthcare for so long, I never wanted to go back and do nursing.
Right.
I never did. And then, you know, I was so good at it, I'm so good at healthcare that, you know, it was like, why not go ahead and take that next step?
Right.
But the look on my 2 sons and my wife's face at my graduation was probably, outside of them being born and the day that I got married, was probably
The best thing.
top 3, top 5 best moments of my life. And then when I came home and told them that I passed, girl, it was a It was a party. So like that, I mean, everything about it, everything about going through his class, and Nick he's still quizzing me and still feeding me information to this day about things that I'll still ask him things about up in the ICU that I don't really know about, like that I'm not getting straight answers for. I can't figure it out when my work is so busy and so crazy, and I'll run it by Nick, and he's like, do. This is what it is. And I'm like, oh, light bulb, bang. Right. There it goes.
Right, that's wonderful too, because you need that even outside of the classroom, just on a job too, because you always learning. You always. I tell people too, like, because now I've been a nurse for 18 years, so now actually nursing has changed. A lot of medications didn't change and everything. So now I'm asking the new nurses, like, what's this? I said, like, because I don't know. You always learning in healthcare. You always learning. You can't, and it's good that you can got somebody you can go to, and and can help you. And some people would be like, "Are you a nurse? You should already know this." No, no, you don't. So that's good that you got him. That he can walk you through that, because I mean, in the ICU, you got to really do a lot of critical thinking.
You do, and like having an ER mindset where it's this chaos in your mind all the time, because that's what you're used to in the ER. Like the highs are the highs and the lows are the lows, but then in between there's no chill. So going to the ICU and still being able to have that chaotic mindset and still be able to learn a lot about my craft, and to have somebody that I can call that's very wise and has all types of wisdom and practices it, preaches it, believes in it, is a God. It's a blessing.
It is.
And
Go ahead. What I like about Nick is that it's repetition with Nick. Nick tells us to go home and do something, go over whatever he tells us to go over. Whatever assignment he gives us that night, he goes over it the next day. It's word for word. He's not leaving anything out. He's not taking anything away. It's whatever he say do it. It's word for word.
Right.
That's what I do like.
It's a reason why he's connecting the dots. It's not just telling you this just to have you do something.
No. It's not go home and read 15 chapters. No,
Right.
It's not that. If we're on fundamentals, it's fundamentals.
awesome.
But if it's form, it's form.
Yeah.
And then he'll go over the exact same thing we went over the night before. So it's like repetition. It's like,
And then he'll go back over again the next day.
right.
He'll go back up, you keep on.
So it makes it to where you get it.
Yeah, they're hitting some things about the strategy, the course that I implement is like, we got to be real. Like, nobody wants to read the books. Like, out of the gate, nobody's going to do it. If you try to assign, like, read these 5 chapters, nobody does it.
Yeah.
So I've got these video lectures that are really interactive. And the way I teach, everybody finishing my sentences down there, right? So even when I teach on that interactive video, like the way I teach, they're finishing my sentences while they're watching the video. So I'm using resources where I'm explaining what's up instead of them having to read what's up. I've got the kinesthetic learning where they're actually filling out workbooks. And if I go on to talk about it third day, I might be talking about hyponatremia and risk for seizures. Well, what did you remember with fundamentals with seizures? And what was the 3 things that we prepare the room, right? We always got to bring back what we learned. We're never going to forget that as we continue to like mow through it. And a few other things like going on what Tony said, because everybody in the course is special, and I could rap a lot about Tony. I know even on this right here, like I'm probably not the most professional. I'm the same person no matter where I go, right? And what I love about Tony being here is we came up like from nothing, right? So I don't know what people see when they're looking at cameras, like, well, there's this guy sitting in the chair with his little quarters up there, you know, and it's like, you know, right. I mean, me and Tony, we're best friends because we came from nothing. Like, we've earned everything we got, like everything. And it took me a while. I became a nurse. I was like, Tony, and it's part of that. Get your stuff together, bro. Like, your potential is much higher from what you're doing. Quit playing. Like, why are you back there? And it took me a minute to get that conversation up. But as we continue to grow, and I started this business, and I help people, and I love what I do, God lets me do this, right? But as we grow, we notice all these people, all these, you know, old heads like in the ER, they're like, oh, Nick, Tony, we didn't know y'all was capable of doing that. Y'all looked like, you know, they thought we was just like immature kids back then. It's like, why aren't you all feeding positivity to the people that you're working with in these environments anyway, right?
Right.
So now we're up here, and then I know how to speak all the languages. I got the master's degree, and I know how to create learning objectives, and I know how to do evidence-based practice, and I created one of the largest NCLEX programs in the country for a hospital system, and we trialed that out with multiple groups. Lindsay, I love that Lindsay's here. She's part of that group. She's part of my first class. Like, we've done everything right, and I can speak every language you want to. You want to speak doctor? We can throw out all the big jargon, right? You want to speak, evidence-based and pull, while we're implementing the education to review objective data to make improvements. We can have any conversation you want to, but at the end of the day, let's just be real with each other and say, let's lift each other up, be positive, and say, this is what you got to do, get it done. Now you need to remember your why.
Right.
And speak honest.
Yeah, right.
Because especially I feel like when you're in, I had this conversation with my patients all the time. I'm like, look, I don't know how to speak. I know medical terms, but I can't sit here and speak it to you because you don't understand that. But I'm going to tell you, like, you're sick. Like, there's something like you're sick. This is what needs to be done. So just strap on your seatbelt and just go, just understand that you're in good hands and we got you. Try to speak positivity through normalcy and have them really understand what is going on with them as well.
Being able to communicate with everybody is everything.
Yeah.
Right? I got to be able to talk to Tamara. I don't know Tamara's family, where she came from, but, like, we all just people trying to.
Right.
Trying to make a difference.
Yeah, but that positivity carries a lot in the course because it is people like me that were really anxious coming into it, low confidence, a lot of self-doubt. Nursing school was not great. We had professors look us straight in the eyes and be like, you're not capable of this. So you're going into this already thinking, I'm not smart enough, and then you have someone telling you, yes, you are. I'm going to give you the tools. Do what I say and you can do it. And then it happens. Well, now I believe in myself. But again, that's him putting you on his back and carrying you across that finish line because I wouldn't have had the confidence had it not been for Nick. But that's a big part of the class. Yeah.
So is it any one of those professors that you went back to and said, you know what? You were freaking wrong, man. You're wrong. I passed.
Yeah.
Is it
Don't
anyone?
you worry. They know.
They know. Yes.
I mean, I think things they're going to play out. I think, and you see this professionally, even people you work with, it walks like a duck, talks like a duck. It's a duck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what I hate is Lindsay's story is one of 100 where I've got other students, one of them out of Texas. I mean, all my people were watching my stuff. They always comment on my stuff. But one girl in Texas told me, like, a teacher told her, like, she wasn't going to be a good nurse. She waited like 6-7 years before she decided to get the courage up to even give it a try. Because one person with a personality conflict, and nothing makes me more angry. It's like, why are you carrying your stuff from home, your baggage, onto people that are looking up to you, right, to try to help you?
Yeah.
And that affects them. And people don't realize the weight of their words.
Right. Yeah. Really powerful. The tongue is very powerful.
So I'm reading some comments on here. Sona Gibson asked, is it just for RNs? No, it's an LPN and RN
And Miss
program.
Pam's PM, Miss Chan's PM.
Yeah.
Nurse is a nurse.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what I'm hearing, from like I said, it's been 18 years since I took the NCLEX and then just listen to, Chan, things has changed. They didn't change the NCLEX. I was like, she called me, I don't know.
I did. I used to call
She called me.
I'm like, do this. She's like, huh? I'm like,
yeah,
because you got the NGN now.
Right.
That's why I was telling everybody, the NGN it's tricky. It's now even how they word this stuff is tricky because it's really all the answers is right. It's that they want to make sure you is a safe nurse at the end of the day. That's
And I think that's where, as far as that too, where like with the NCLEX, I think some of these schools need to implement more of the NCLEX training, which they don't, because they teach the,
The basic.
the basic, the anatomy and physiology of the body. That's not going to change. So once you learn that, you learn it. You can't change the body. You can't change the anatomical position of it. You know it. Then once you know the disease processes and stuff like that, you know it. But they're not. From what I'm hearing from not just only Chan now, younger nurses, whatever, they're not teaching as far as like they taught us in NCLEX. So it seemed like my questions was taught. It's a totally different world now. It's a totally different world. And it's good that you are somebody that can help these people, because I was lost. I was like, I don't know this stuff. They make y'all do this. We didn't have to do that.
And I think it's my ER mind, right? I could spend about 3 minutes and summarize everything. Like all these people that are listening live, like let me just explain. Everybody's scared of an NGN question, right? And this is part of my product. I don't want to throw this stuff off the internet because people are just going to try to copy me anyway.
Right.
But med surge, you go down to each body system, respiratory, GI, GU, cardiac. There's only 8 or 10 diagnoses. There's variables. 8 or 10 diagnoses. What are some tests specific to one of those diagnoses? Because sometimes there's a variable, right? Mm-hmm. Or some procedures. Respiratory is going to be talking about thoracentesis and things like that. But there's nursing students that graduate. They feel like it's an ocean of things that they got to understand before they take the NCLEX. And what I do is compartmentalize and really organize them fast.
Right.
Like this is it. Just get this. Right. Now, talking on the NGN is just like doing individual assessments. So you got a head to assessment. You got neuro, respiratory, GI, GU. Well, you got to know what's good, right? And normal. You got to know what's normal. You got to know what's abnormal. So you got to know in cardiac, they got an S1, S2. Okay, that's normal, right? And they throw in an S3, well, they got fluid around the heart. We got to know it's abnormal. When somebody comes in, their primary complaint, this is ER stuff. They got trademark symptoms. Yellowish, greenish sputum with a fever, shortness of breath, pneumonia, night sweats, hemoptysis, tuberculosis. Yeah, but there's these trademark symptoms, and that's how they describe them in these questions. So they're going to give you pertinent negative and NGN questions. Every sentence brings you closer or further apart from the diagnosis. It's like a differential, right? Now they try to trip you up a little bit, but then you got your lab results. And my class is going to explain BNP, CBC, or BNP, brain type, or B-type natriuretic. I just go over all of it, and I make it just make sense. And when you look at the end of the day, all you got to do is dissect the respiratory section. What was abnormal? Well, what did them symptoms point to?
Right.
It's yellow, greenish sputum. It was pneumonia. Well, what's the worst case with infection? It can lead to, yes, ma'am, it leads to sepsis. And this is how I teach my class, and that's how it goes down. And I give the information, and I gotta be thankful because I put together the elite, right? I was blessed to work with another professor at the college I was previously professor at. I applied to be the dean. On the day that I had a decision to make, I got an offer to be an education specialist at an extremely prominent magnet hospital where they do a lot of simulations. So I took the EdSpec job. But to the point, Tatum Godfrey teaches for me now. She was the dean of a college. Tatum's gold, right? Sam Connor, shout out. My guy Sam, he's been in the ER forever. He's a nursing supervisor at a hospital. And the heart of what we do is just about the passion to see people succeed because everybody deserves it. So I got people that have the experience and the knowledge that are working. You come in for 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it is, we teach the class. And then there's also master's degree educators that are just going to do questions. Not only do we teach you the information, we're going to help you break down the question and apply it. What's normal versus abnormal? What's stable versus unstable? What's expected versus unexpected?
Come on, yeah.
Yeah, and, that's what it boils down to.
Right. And I think that's good too. Sometimes a lot of people try to learn just from the internet. But just to have somebody physically there, that thing,
that was my problem.
That was your problem?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I tried every NCLEX program you could possibly think of. So I think I spent thousands of dollars in that.
And that was online?
Yeah.
And then actually
Mark
somebody...
Clemec, what is it? Nursing boot camp, simple nursing.
I did all that too.
You were
literally everything. UWorld, Arthur, anything you could think of, I probably did it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I ain't spending no more money. It's over.
But the good thing about NCLEX program is you can do it online, on Zoom, or you can come to class. He has it where you can come to class also.
Yeah, I got the technology.
I have to be in class. I needed to be there.
Really seeing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The problem with all these programs that exist out there, in my opinion, it's the heart and be able to analyze the person, right? I don't have any negative things to say about it because honestly, as long as somebody's preaching good, right, and correct information, it's correct, right? But it's about the person that's interpreting that information and how to understand it. Yeah. So you got one program, which it's all relative, and it's not until you get your master's degree. Here's what's difficult in the last week, because I'll be on my TikTok, and then somebody, they made a recent book, and they're like, I'm making $150,000, and half you all listening probably know what I'm talking about. And he quit nursing school. Now there's about 10. Yeah, you know what's up. There's like 10 other influencers on there like, hey, I made a packet. Hey, I made a packet. So everybody's trying to do this get rich thing, grab $100,000, but all you're doing is writing down some facts anyway. Nobody's putting in like, you have to figure out the person and create discipline, create accountability, create strategy, because not everybody wants to read from a book. So everybody's got these quick, give me 50, give me 100, give me 500. You know what? Give me 6 weeks.
Right.
And let's just stop paying all the stuff.
Right.
Nick, someone says we have somebody online that says Demetria was it Hingston? She said, "What do you teach at?"
I teach out at Gateway College in Northern Kentucky, so you can take the class online from your house. If you're in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, which we're in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, at Gateway College in Edgewood, it's best to come in person because so many distractions out there. But if you're not, because I teach people in New York, California, Texas, all over the world, South Africa, you can attend online if you're not close.
Yeah, Sonia, you said repeat. You said could he repeat, but he just did. So hopefully you got that. But I know you had a question, and she was asking, what did she ask? Is that you only teach nursing, or you teach other what did she say? RN?
She said LPNs. She thought he only teach RN.
Right.
But no, he do LPNs.
Yeah, I do LPNs and RNs. And a lot of people don't understand that either. The truth is LPNs deserve some respect, right? Mm-hmm. I think in some cases that's another, your nursing podcast, we talk forever about 100 of these topics. I'm just laying them out, right? I think there's some stuff where LPNs feel a certain way about RNs, vice versa. And the truth is that LPNs, PNs are responsible to know all the diagnosis that the RN is supposed to know as far as the NCLEX go. The only difference is their role taking care of patients that are stable patients. That's right. The people that have expected outcomes, right? So some of the things that they can do tasks, IV initiation, and then things that we're going to delegate. So the only area that there's going to be a deviation, which I teach a deviation, is related to delegation rules when we're talking about leadership and management of care, right? Otherwise, LPN's got to know pneumonia, cystic fibrosis, pneumothorax, chest tube. I mean, they got to know it all.
So nowadays, though, in the long-term care, as far as delegation, years ago, a LPN couldn't delegate to an RN. But nowadays, you have LPNs in those positions, the leadership positions now, that they're in the management. You have, it didn't change. It's a lot.
Yeah, PNs are running long-term care.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's usually one RN per shift. I think that's one of the, and there's variables across the whole country. I gotta be careful because when you spit things out, I recognize there's different, a lot of different laws with different states, and everything comes down to the Board of Nursing for that, and for each state and the rules and laws that apply. But locally, typically, you'll find one RN per shift, and PNs
8 hours.
are just running.
Just need 8 hours in long-term care for.
That's it. Just
That's
8
how
hours.
Just need an RN in the building for 8 hours.
Yeah. Wow.
That's it.
It just speaks the way it speaks to you all having the ability to take care of patients,
Nick, I want to know this, man. I'm not a drama type dude. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to know this.
The build-up got me nervous.
I just said, don't say that. Don't. So has it been any of those professors that you know of that were like, just read the book, the ABC, and he's come to you and said, you know what? I got to give it to you, Nick. I need to take your class. Has it been any?
When you come, look, there. In my
what do you say?
There's an amount of pride and accountability, and I think it takes a person being vulnerable to recognize some gaps that they have, because I think I can learn all the time. If I get a student that tells me something and that's different from what I know, I don't look at them and say, you're wrong. I look at them and say, well, let me check that out, because maybe there's a rule or a caveat or a circumstance around it. But to your point, what I've noticed is when I talk peer to peer, like professor, I hate to say it, but as professors, we don't want to hear each other teach. I mean, that's the taste of what's going on. When I'm working at a college, this professor's got fundamentals, leadership, and a gap that I recognize is a lot of professors, they can't teach it all. Respectfully, though, I mean, you're going from, everything happens in tiers. You know, you're going from a CNA to a nurse, and then you become a clinical adjunct professor and full-time. Well, you learn that one thing. You can't learn everything. But sometimes people aren't onboarded in a really good way to make them get the confidence as professors they need. But you got to help students with the entire emotional breadth of the situation. Not only the knowledge that you're helping, but support them, you know, emotionally, psychologically, and things.
Yes.
But I think some professors don't. Not all of them. There's a lot of really good teachers. I can't say that enough. Like, I don't say bad things about nobody, for real, ever. I don't, right? But I think there's an opportunity where some professors could say, I'm willing to listen to them lecture that just to see if there's some things that I could pick up, right? Because Cool and Clammy needs some candy. I didn't make that up, right? Somebody made that up 50 years ago. It hits, right? But there's a lot of things that I teach that I did make up because this is all I think about, right? This is all I think about. My wife will tell you, Tony will tell you, like, how can I improve to be better at what I teach so they understand it easier, so they see how simple this is? Because it is. Right. It's not, but it is.
Right. So we had Nikki Rice. She said the whole NCLEX was about who do you need to see first.
Yeah, that's
And
management.
she also said, I studied his program for my last NCLEX exam RN. I swear by him
and Dr. And Dr. D.
Dr. D. Nick, let me ask you this, man. Let me ask you this. So, see, I got a brain fart too. But, ask him. I just lost
Well, to speak on that, so management of care, what she said, who you going to see first? A lot of students don't know. You all can go onto the NCSBN website. NCSBN is the people that make the NCLEX, right? And you go to a website and you can look at a map, and it actually gives the different, you know, what percentage of questions do you have the potential to get? And usually it's a range. And that person in that chat's right. Management of care is who do you see first, which is expected versus stable versus unstable, right? It's all those questions. So management of care is a big deal. And I think a lot of students could really understand if they're going to do a minimum of 85 to 150 now. If you're older, you know that number is different. But right now it's 85 to 150. They can do a management of care question and give you 4 different respiratory diagnoses. Well, your patient came in with pneumonia, SpO2 is 97%, and now they have yellowish greenish sputum. Well, that's expected, right? Or somebody comes in and they're only oriented ×2. They have urticaria pruritus and erythema at their peri area, and they complain that dysuria, painful. Well, I'm describing that somebody has a UTI, and it's going to be expected they have altered mental status. But we already started a antibiotic in that question. So we need to go in the room? No, it's because we know what they have. It's expected they have a little altered mental status, and we're also giving them treatment for that, you know? So it's about how they're set up. But this is something I'm really thorough about.
Now this is what the brain fart. Okay, it came back to me. I want to know what do you tell someone, because I know somebody, they told me, they was like, what do you tell someone that says, man, that's the price, I don't know. What do you tell those people that are so skeptical about the price and that's all they think about is the money? They don't think about the outer.
It's worth it.
It's worth
You
it.
make that
I can
back.
answer
You
that.
make that back. That's your first paycheck.
That was my first
It's
paycheck.
less than
yeah.
your first paycheck.
Yeah, less than my first paycheck was more than
Yeah,
this
it's
class.
worth it though. I say it's worth it. It's worth it.
Those be the people who's not dedicated to themselves and determined, you know,
You know something? That's
like
not
that.
that's-
If you put a price
that's not
on
good.
your license,
Yeah,
like
that's
it's like
that's
you
not
have to.
my-
That and it's like you said, it's an investment in yourself.
That's something you you invest in
Basically,
yourself.
That's gonna change
You're
your
like,
life.
yes.
There's about 10 things I can speak on. Like one, when I created that price, I used to, okay? My first year of doing it after her class, I said, this is the price, $2,000, just to be clear, right?
Right.
Here's the price on it. I used to refund money if my students failed because I know what I can do. And if you came to my class and you failed, I used to give them all their money back. Even though I was paying for resources that they was using in my class, it came out of my pocket. And what I recognized was people, despite wanting to be a nurse, wasn't willing to do the work to be the nurse.
Right.
And I started handing out a couple $2,000 to people, and I'm like, this ain't my fault. Like the whole class passed except for you two. And then I can pull their records like you ain't doing the questions. And then I almost want to put a caveat. It's like, it's not my burden. I know I'm going to show up and I give you everything. Like some of my conversations is I will never let you down. Sick, tired, exhausted, whatever it is, you'll get 120% no matter what I look like. And you're going to get it well, right? I don't miss class. I don't cancel. I don't do anything. But the resources for the class, renting the room, the technology to disperse this all over the country, and the fact that you got somebody that actually cares, that can analyze your scores. These other programs don't do this. They don't give the one-to-one feedback. They don't ask you about what's your mom and them doing? How was your holiday? Your kid sick? I'm sorry to hear about your kid being sick, right? I mean, these are all real conversations. And people just look at the numbers like, hey, just do this, jump through this hoop, and you might do okay. Well, this ain't that program. You want one of the programs, you can find it.
You don't take the test or take the test. He'll tell you, you're not ready. He'll let you know that. You look at your score, but you know you ain't ready. If you don't, and you have to put in the work. Don't think because you go to this class and you ain't putting in that work, you're gonna pass. It's what you put into though. You got to put work into it too.
This is a team process.
Anything you want, you're gonna put into it.
And there's nothing but positivity. Like no matter what, like somebody doesn't do their questions. And with me this week, I noticed that you only did 2 days. I also respect you. I respect that you're a single mom. You got 3 kids. I respect you. I'm telling what it takes that you got to do this, and you ain't got to be perfect with it, but you have to be consistent. If you don't show up for yourself, who's going to show up for you? Right? I mean, there's these huge conversations that we have. They're real. Right. But there's never negativity. Week 2, hey, I understand like you was just figuring things out. You was figuring your schedule out. But even before the class starts, my initial onboarding meeting can you plan 2 or 3 hours? Can we grab a calendar and you write down what 2 or 3 hours you're going to study each day? And it can't be at midnight after you worked a 12-hour shift, took care of the kids, and then you got to wake up at 6 again. How are you going to learn like that? Right? We have to, it's okay to ask for a hand up instead of hand out. Some people prideful. Right? Okay, see if somebody around is going to lift you up. See if they can look after your kids. See if they can do this. You deserve the time. Be selfish with your time. I mean, dare me to keep speaking on 100 conversations I have with people, and this is the regular 6 weeks, and I pour it out, and that's what you're paying for. Right. I will give you perspective. You will wake up and you will succeed, and that's it. As long as you show up.
You gotta show up for yourself. Right. You gotta show up for yourself, not nobody else. So it's like if I gave somebody $2,000, I'm gonna be there like I ain't playing. I'm like I ain't missing a day. I mean.
And there's no disrespect. There's none.
It's nothing. No, but that's how you have to be serious about it and be so determined about it. Like $2,000, it is a lot. You do get it back once you become a nurse, but it's still a lot of money. And if you're not a nurse, so you had to come up with that $2,000.
Yeah.
So
and I recognize that.
And $2,000 you already wasted anyway. If you took it 5, people that take it 5 or 6 times. You spend almost
talking about the NCLEX test action, How much is it nowadays to take it?
$275.
I can't even remember.
Plus your background check.
Yeah.
That expires so fast.
Right. So if you take it 5 times, that's $1,000 right there. So
I take this chance on taking the class.
Yeah, but there's even more. So, like you all know that locally. But the people I help from Africa, they got to go through like GCFNS, a certain department. They got to send like the information from their school to go through that. It's a long process, right?
Right.
Florida, there's 2 or 3 states that got 3 and out rules. You fail 3 times, you got to pay $2,000, $2,500 for another program that I don't hear great things. I'm not here to say bad things at all. But in Florida, that's a big state where they fail 3 times. the state requires you go through a learning program where you have so many clinical hours, and that's state paid, right? So I'm not saying anything negative about them, but I've had students that went through that, and they're like, you know,
Sound like a waste.
yeah, and I don't want to say it because I know every educator out there sincerely, they want to see their people pass. They do, right? But I think just like when you all were in college, anybody was in college or school, we had that professor that, man, what he said and what he was there, a lot of great women, it worked, it helped, you know, and I feel like I'm that guy.
And you've already spent all this money in school on your textbooks. You've already put all this time into it. And honestly, I feel like I wasted more money during my 2 years of nursing school than I did in the 6 weeks because I learned more in that 6 weeks, retained the information. Years later, I'm in Ireland messaging Nick because I was having heartburn from the Guinness. And I was like literally at the Guinness factory asking for a glass of milk, which they will look at you weird. And I'm like, calcium calms. And I'm like, Nick.
Come on, Dr. Nick.
I didn't have my tongue. So I got some calcium and I felt better. So that's what's important is even though these aren't things that like on a postpartum unit, you know, you're thinking about all these things that he taught me. It's the repetitiveness, it's the little catchphrases that, you know, it's not funny if your heart stops. And it's just these things that you will never forget. And then you're going to pass. Right. I can't tell you any of that from the money I spent going to school.
Right. Because they don't teach you that. Like, so from what I'm hearing, like you teaching from like really showing them like the patient and just giving them scenarios and, you know, teaching from that. They just throw questions out there to you in school. So they're not breaking down, you know, just for you to prioritize things. They just give you these questions, A, B, C, D, all that apply. You know, they just teach you like that. They tell you to read this chapter, PowerPoints, boom, and expect for you to learn that. But from what it seems like to you, like you really go deep with them in one-on-one and like some scenarios. I would have loved to, which I had passed on my first try, but just hearing you, I would love to even come just to get educated.
Yeah, you're welcome. You want to come hang out?
You know what I'm saying? Like, because nursing is you always learning. You don't like to talk bad about people, but I don't either. But I don't like nurses to think they super nurses and Mr. and Mrs. Know-it-all. You know what I'm saying? You always learning in this.
Those are the dangerous ones. I don't want to be next to someone who thinks they know everything.
Like, you know everything. You can't tell them nothing. I like to work side by side with people. If I don't know, show me. I'm not going to be, if a new nurse like you, 8 months, you said 8 months, right? And here I am 18 years. If you know, I'm going to be like, hell. I'm not going to be like, girl, you don't know what you're talking about. Because you can learn. You know what I'm saying? You can learn from each other at all times. Like, I always like to learn.
Yeah, and that's the way you got to stay as a nurse because things always evolve and change.
And it changing.
Right. Like even when we're giving stroke medications, alteplase or tenecteplase, we did one and then now we got to do the other because the risk factors with pediatrics. Like these things change all the time in critical care every single day, right? There's just new, strategies, new evidence that kind of like changes all the information. But you got to stay humble, right? Just like I said, when a student comes up to me and they're like, Nick, what you said was wrong. Well, let's both look at it together, like analyze why it's wrong and see what it is. Like most often there's confusion about how a question's written or something like that. Right. But it just in nursing and period, you got to stay humble. We got to appreciate what we're doing. And at the end of the day, in my, nobody wants to hear this. The NCLEX is the easiest part of this because once this is done, now you're stepping up. What I love about Tamara, right? I mean, this broke, it didn't break, it gushed, my heart gushed. She said, Nick, she works at the #1 pediatric hospital in the country, in the ER, right? This class is not substandard, by the way, right? The 6-week codebreaker class is not. But what'd you say people were commenting when you started working there? Like, did you feel like you wasn't familiar with I took this program just to pass the NCLEX? You felt like you?
No, so like even during like my orientation, people would be like, I would tell them, I graduated in 2021 but I just became a nurse. And they'd be like, how? Like, how do you know all this stuff? And I'm like, that class. And like, I would even teach them things that they might not have known, or like the little slogans that Nick teaches. So that was really like a really big confidence boost. Like, okay, I'm not dumb. I'm up here with you guys, and it's just like, and it's also like a full like 360. Like if Nick's child was sick, he would literally bring them to me to take care of them, which is crazy to think about. Like, I'm the one, it's really
That's
surreal.
powerful, and I would trust her to do that. And that's one of the biggest compliments you can get from a nurse.
Tony, I want to ask you a question. So, being as Nick was you've been working with him for years, right? And he's your friend. How hard was it to you accept that he's trying to tell you, like, look, come aboard. I could take you to another level. Was it like, did you feel like, man, you don't know more than me? Or was you like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this, man.
No, it was never you don't know more than me, because I know Nick, and like we've been running around for so long that we know each other's personalities, right? So the hardest part for me, because I am I'm kind of a lone wolf with like trying to build my life and my visions and the things that I have, and it's hard for me to kind of accept help, especially for somebody who I look up to as a friend, and as a fellow, brother of mine. I think it was more within me to have to go and sit in his class and listen to him as a teacher, as a mentor, and not as a friend and a brother.
Right.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So he'll ask me, like, go sit myself down in the seat and act like, sorry, I'll throw this over here. And not only for me to go sit in a seat and see him as a teacher and because I know he's educated. Like, he's one of the smartest people that I know. And I tell him all the time, we both have, I call it a hustler's mentality, right? Like, we have a hustler's mentality because of where we came from nothing and having to survive and having to hustle and whatever it was, or, detailing cars or, working CNA or whatever it was. So for me to go sit in his class and not see that side of him and really, to be honest with you, like, it's straight up opening my eyes even more to how intelligent that man is.
Right.
And I give him his flowers all the time, but after the first day I sat in his class, I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Dude, I'm pretty sure, I think I told him this too. I was like, dog, like, I ain't ever seen you. I know you're a smart man, and when you're trying to spit all the stuff at me, it's literally bouncing here, then like bounces off when someone kind of gets through, because I hear it all the time. But like, it was a great experience, man. Like, it took my level. I've always respected the man, and I will always respect the man as my brother. But like, my respect level for him and his passion for it, and his care for other people, even me being his friend and a brother to him, like, it was like, wow, okay. Yeah, my God.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Nick, so how did you feel that he took, your passion and everything and your, trying to get him to upgrade himself? How did that make you feel once he passed the test?
Oh, man, I exploded.
Right? You said you exploded?
Yeah, when we both when he let me know, because all the nursing students know, like, I'm not telling when we're testing, I'm not telling when the results come. Of course, I went down to test with him down to Lexington. We drove an hour to get down there. But man, I love seeing people come up. That's what this world should be.
Oh yeah.
What kind of gift is that? Like, I am so blessed that my job is to help change people's lives.
Yeah, man.
100% in 6 weeks, and it's black and white, and it's over.
Right. So
seeing that man come up, like the 100 conversation sidebars we have once a week, it's like, why isn't everybody always trying to lift up the other? It's a gift that I get to help them, and they're going to help thousands of patients. And it's beautiful that they're going to interact, and they're going to take some of the things that I took away, like always stay humble, always to have some humility, treat people with some respect.
Yes.
Learn this like you're taking care of your own kids, right? Why ain't you learning it like you taking, because that's their mom you're taking care of. I'm going to show up with my kids. Why ain't you learning like that? You're going to trust, stay humble, but lift. Everybody should help each other or want each other to succeed. And the problem with this life is sometimes it's the people closest to you that are dragging you down. Like, let them know what you're doing. One of the worst things you can do is tell some people what you're doing so they can just try to take that steam away from you.
Yes. Sandra and Pam. I said Chan and Pam. Chan and Pam. How did you guys bounce ideas off each other? How did you help each other? How did you?
You know something? Pam got me into it because she was like, you know something, I'm finna go to nursing school. I said, okay then, I'm finna go to Dubai. She was like, when I'm starting step, I said, when you can start, I'll be in Dubai. I said, so when I got back from Dubai, I said, you know something, I'm finna go on do it. So I called, I said, you know something, I'm gonna start the next month. She went before me. I let her, I paid for this trip, I'm going to Dubai. So then I did go, and she got me into it.
Yeah.
And from there, we've been buddy ever since.
Buddy.
This is my sister, but she's like best of friends.
Yeah.
Right.
My little sister, but best of friends.
Yeah. So she encouraged me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, so I want to know this. What have you guys bought yourself since you upgraded? Oh, Tony said,
You
can I
got
tell
time for
you?
that?
What you bet, Tony?
I'll start because I said earlier, I bought a new car. Like, I had, ever since I was a kid, I always wanted a Cadillac Escalade. I always wanted a Yukon. I wanted a Suburban. Like, that's what I've always wanted since I was a kid. And I literally, before I went down and took my test, my wife was mad as all get out at me too, because I came home with this. Like, I sent her a picture of it first, so before I brought her home, so she knew she wasn't surprised. But I went and bought a Yukon. Like, because I knew that my finances was about to change.
Yeah.
You know, I knew my finances about to change, and also as a business owner, I got a basketball training business, and I have a AAU organization that I'm starting up. It's helped me, just my financial increase has helped me be able to start that vision and that goal for myself.
That's nice.
Yeah, that same heart that I got in some of these side conversations, not to break it, because I want all of them to say what they've been buying, what they've been doing. This is interesting, right? But that heart that I got for this, Tony does that with youth basketball. Tony, he's training youth, and he's got teaching the fundamentals and being like a really good mentor to young men. Well, young men and young girls actually. But that dude speaks with his heart, with caring for kids too.
That's a beautiful thing.
So I'm in the process of scheduling my tests. They're waiting on my background, but my husband and I are looking for a new home, downsizing.
Downsizing. You're saving money. Okay, then I got you.
I didn't do nothing yet.
She don't want to tell nobody nothing.
I ain't do nothing.
I want to pick out your pockets.
I been good with my money.
You say?
I really haven't been. I haven't done anything yet.
Right.
I just been processing.
Process
But
how
I
you
only
spend
been a nurse like for a month, really a
Okay,
month.
okay,
So
okay.
I'm just beginning.
Right.
I'm just, getting
You don't want to overstep your boundaries.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you were giggling. I don't want to tell them what I spent my money on.
I'm a good saver too. Okay. That's important to, I think, start with. I'm very, very financially savvy, I guess, but I bought a house.
Oh, wow.
I bought a house. I just went gallivanting all over Europe. I did Ireland, London, Paris, Disneyland Paris. I bought a Disney annual pass. I go down to Florida all the time.
When's the last time you was in Florida?
It was like a week and a half ago.
When you going back? Because I heard your talk. So when you going back?
Thursday. Yeah. I'm going to Norway in April. I'm going back to Dublin in June.
Just traveling the world.
I just I just stayed but I don't have any kids or anything, so like it's it's just me and my 2 dogs. So
My one dog.
yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
So a little
I'm gonna
different,
do
but
that. Travel,
yeah,
live life.
yes.
Supposed to.
What were you about to say, Nick?
I was gonna say what's really important. I've seen a lot of this. When you're making that, you got that increase in income. You just created a gap in revenue, right? Being financial savvy is gonna be really important, right? There's a big conversation where there's still nurses that will make money. Midwest ain't making as much as New York, California, whatever. But you know, as much as we learned about the NCLEX, it's also going to be really good, intelligent idea to kind of learn about finances, investment, saving. Like, why are you going to jump up? You know, you had this, you was paying all this out, and you was barely making any money, and now you make all that. Well, you just
Put yourself right back.
accrued the debt. Now your net income's still the same, despite you making more money. You just got more stuff.
But when you young, the younger ones, they don't do that. You excited.
Yeah.
When you get somebody like in your 50s, you like, hold on.
That was an old guy message. That's an old guy message, okay? Girl, you need to be in Europe. She needs to go to Disney. It's an old man message.
Yeah, so when you young, you be ready to blow that money. But when you get older you get, you start, you start being more disciplined with your money, when you get older. Because I remember I was in my 30s when I became a nurse, and I remember I thought I was rich after coming from the STNA, and my income jumped. And man, sadly, I thought I was rich. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I'm about to make what? And then I normally didn't job hop. I stay on the job for a long time. So I was at this point, and I was 6 years at Drake. I was 6 years at Drake at this time, 4 years as an SCNA and 2 years as a nurse. But Drake wasn't paying nothing like the long-term care. I said, I'm quitting. I quit, and I went straight to long-term care. I'm about to make this. Y'all make that over there. So I quit Drake to go to long-term care. So I really thought I was rich.
I get PN students that became RNs, and they're like, why'd I even do that? I was making this much money as a PN. Like, PNs are making money out there, too. Tamara, what have you been buying? You been buying anything? Vacations?
I just bought a townhouse in Hebron. I moved in 2 weeks ago.
Congrats.
Thank you. And I brought nothing but my clothes. So I bought everything new. Everything is brand new.
Nice.
Vacations. I went to Cabo, went to Florida. I leave for the Bahamas next week.
Oh, man.
I might have been in the Louis Vuitton store a couple times.
You gotta have a Louis, girl.
But I said starting in January, I'll start saving again. Yeah, but this was my year to buy everything that I really, really wanted.
And
Yeah.
you deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
So-
You deserve it.
But also, what's really meaningful about this for real is our ability to take care of our kids like we couldn't do it before.
Right.
That's always a nice thing. Always a nice thing.
Good.
So we're gonna take a real quick break. We gotta clean up some stuff that somebody spilled. So we'll be right back. Give us a second.
When I was 34 years old, I was 204 pounds, overweight, stayed tired, low self-esteem. Now I'm 52 years old, 150 pounds. I have good energy, good clarity. I love it.
So we are back. Yes, we are back. As you can see, we took a quick break. We got it all cleaned up. Thank you, Tommy. We'll see you. Pay you later. We're back. And we are joined with somebody that is fascinating. Nick praises her. He talks a lot about her. She has a lot going on. She has the money that everybody has 10 times. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to introduce this young lady. We're going to introduce this young lady right now. We have Miss Alyssa. Miss Alyssa, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Hello, I'm Alyssa.
Yes.
I met Nick about a year ago through a mutual friend / she was one of his students. And I do marketing and communications, so not a nurse, not from a nursing background, although I have learned a thing or two from dropping by Nick's class. But I've been working with Nick the past year on his marketing and have gotten to meet a lot of his students, interviewing them at the start of his course versus interviewing them at the end of his course, and seeing just the growth and even the confidence in how they carry themselves and how they talk about their journey from the start where they're so unsure about maybe even their decision to go to nursing school versus the end of, I know I'm going to pass the NCLEX and I'm not even worried about it anymore. And I feel very grateful to have met Nick because everything everybody has said so far is very true. He's the most genuine guy, and this is his career, but he also really does care, and it's very obvious in the way he carries himself and the way he interacts with everybody, even working for him. He checks in and is, how are you doing, Alyssa? What's going on in your life? And we've really built a friendship more than just being like,
An employer.
I do marketing for him and I work for him, but I feel like he's my friend now.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Nick, tell us about it. Tell us about it. You told us in the beginning. Now say it on camera.
Yeah, so Alyssa's glowing. I got lucky to meet a student. Shout out to Brianna. Hi, Brianna.
Hi, Bree.
I was helping a student, and this student was incredibly intelligent, and she was just like, hey, I need somebody to help study. And I was like, you know what? We can study and we can make some TikToks and really just have fun, and I can help you and you can help me. And it was just like this really, and that blossomed to a great friendship. She's working at some amazing hospital in Ohio right now. But through Bree, I got to meet Alyssa, and Bree's like, hey, you know what? I think this person can help you. And every time I showed up, like, it's one thing that, you know, I was a CNA and then a nurse, and I became a professor and all this stuff. And now you're a business owner and you got to manage all these things. And it's really hard to find somebody that actually cares about what they do like you care about what you do, right? And then also they have the experience and the knowledge to do it. So I met Alyssa for the first time. I don't know if she remembers this or not. But she's like, yeah, you can make a post, like, check this out. And you can write we can put the hashtag in there. We can hide the words. And she went, right? And I know how to use technology for real. I know how to make posts and reels and do this. Like I edit all my TikToks. I do it. But I was like, did you just hide that hashtag by picking a color palette from a point on there in 3 seconds? She's like, yeah, don't worry, Nick. You know what I'm saying?
You hear the hashtag?
Yeah. On an Instagram story.
Yeah. I mean, we all know about hashtags, and then you know, TikTok got a minimum amount of hashtags or whatever. But she know how to include it in the picture and then hide it with the color scheme of the image. And it's like, and she did it from her phone, which is something that I would uniquely think that there's, you know, because there's so many different interfaces for all this stuff, right? CapCut and whatever. So out of the gate, Alyssa knew what's up. Now, that's just her experience with doing the work. Now, what's beautiful about Alyssa, and she's got this great personality as well. Like, she's intentional with what she does. When she's interviewing my students, like, you know, Miss Pam, Miss Chan, like, we just met. I love everybody that I'm working with, but also, hey, you want to come talk to this stranger real quick? Now, Alyssa knows how to come in, and be more considerate with what she's doing. On the mic.
Right, yeah.
Alyssa knows how to come in and really ask follow-up questions. This is what's important. And you guys know how to do this too. I can tell since you all been doing this podcast for a while. You do an initial question, and based on a response, it elicits a new question, a follow-up question that goes a little deeper and that's more meaningful that people want to know. And she's a natural at all these things. So throughout this process, it has, like, if I, you know, I don't think of her working for me. She just works with me. And it's these students, I tell these students, like, there might be a desk that separates us, but we ain't no different. We're all the same. And Alyssa's amazing what she does. I couldn't say enough positive things about her. I'm thankful that I knew Bree. And again, you know I keep throwing God in here, but I think God is just like open up these pathways. I met Miss Pam. I got to meet you guys. Like, I feel blessed, fortunate, and I'm grateful every day for every single person I know. And Alyssa's amazing at her craft.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. It's always good to have somebody around your area like that, because you have to. Sometimes in life, when you're moving up, you have to drop some baggage, and God will send some new baggage for you, some Louis Vuittons, that real baggage. You know, so. Sometimes you got to let it go, and it might be hard, but it's for the best. And so Alyssa has been a great component to your organization. So that's good. That's good. Yeah. So I want to know one thing. Nick. To all the people, so I think Sona Gibson said this. She asked this question, but what do you have to say to all the any kind of inspiration that you want to give to any aspiring nurses or anybody looking to get into the game, and somebody that wants to avoid paying $10,000 for paying for like 5 classes when they could just go to Nick for 1 class.
Yeah. There's a lot to say there. If you're a person that's interested in nursing, if you're like, always follow your heart, right? I was watching Dave Chappelle or something. He had one of his stand-ups and it was like, follow your dreams or something. At the end of the show, it just really, if it means something to you, that's what you should be chasing. That's what you're passionate about, right? So if it's somebody that's going to nursing, you care about caring for people, that's the root of what keeps us. We got to gain the knowledge to understand what we're doing, but it's the good nurses are the ones that empathetic and care about the person that they're taking care of. So if you're not a nurse, I would, y'all, I was a construction worker, right?
Hard work.
I was a union construction worker working on power plants before I became a CNA and before I jumped in what I was doing. All of you were capable. Everybody is capable of learning. I've helped people with dyslexia. I've helped people with extreme ADD. And I'm talking about, some people were like, I can't stop junior. I got ADD. I've seen extreme versions of ADD. Everybody is capable of learning. So the first question is, what do you tell people? Inspire. Do it. Run. Don't walk. What you been waiting for?
Yeah.
Go. Right? Yeah. The other portion of that is the cost of the class. I've helped everybody. The reason I could believe in myself, because I've had students that graduated 15, 20 years ago, came from other countries in the 6-week class. They put in their effort and they passed. So my cell phone number is the one that's on the website, right? My cell phone number is on Google. My cell phone number is the one that you get if you're one of my 30 or 40 students. And I do, unfortunately, the class will get full, and I usually have to turn a couple people away to come into the next class. But you get what you pay for in this country, in my opinion. Like you want to keep nickel and dime some stuff. You're gonna get out of it what you put in. Yeah. But I will be there and then also, by the way, I do have an affordable. I'm lucky. Another thing that helped validate me for what I do is the chief of Hebron Fire Department. Shout out to Adam Petticore. Adam, you're amazing. And also assistant chief, which is Brandon Schoberg, which now he's the director of emergency services for the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville.
Nice.
I mean, these people are dope. Yeah. I rubbed elbows with the highest of the highest, guys. These are my business partners with Pass with Pass. So the videos that you all get with my 6-week class, like I'm there to teach, I'm there to support, I can answer any questions, there's discipline, and that's what my class offers. In addition to that, if you all want affordability, please listen. You all can just get the videos and they're affordable. Like you can get them for 30 days, 90 days, and you can get my lectures. If you're new grads, you do not need 6 weeks. If you're a new grad and you have anxiety, I've got an anxiety video. There's so many conversations to have, but it breaks down cardiac, respiratory, EKG. I helped develop the EKG program for a hospital, and I taught all the TCU. If it was telemetry, I taught you when you came in the hospital. Wow. I know how to teach it, but there is an affordable thing out there. So to answer your question is, if somebody was a new grad and they needed support, passwithpass.com, which you can get there from my website, codebreakernCLEX.com. You can get the videos, which a lot of people, Asia, use those videos to pass, was talking about earlier. You can pass with that. If you're somebody that's failed and you need the extra help, you will message me if you message that number. And then I will meet with you and schedule an onboarding thing. Some really cool things that I'm chasing after is the Americans with Disabilities Act. Every state has funding to support people that have normal issues across everything, right? So maybe if somebody has ADHD or other situations, sometimes the state, and I'm only approved, I know this goes everywhere, but I'm only approved in Kentucky and Indiana right now. And that's another thing on my plate. But you can contact the state of Kentucky and the state of Indiana. And if you have one of a slew of diagnoses like anxiety or ADHD, very normal things, you're on antidepressants or something, migraines, damn. The state will pick up your tab on 2K and you can take my class and pass. Right? I'm trying to
repeat that one more time for those people.
Yeah.
Because they need to hear that.
Tamara did it. The state of Kentucky or Indiana I'm chasing all of them. I can only do one at a time. But right now, Kentucky and Indiana, you can apply through the state, and I can give you the information to do that. And if you have one of those diagnoses, they'll approve and they'll cut the check and they'll pay. Not only will they pay me $2,000 for the class, sometimes they'll give you money for uniforms. They'll pay for your NCLEX. They'll pay Pearson, stethoscope. And the purpose of this is some people live with disability and they feel like they can never succeed and they need help. Well, I'm the guy to help them. Right. So why would not the government take advantage of the government trying to help you succeed so you don't have to be on government assistance or something? And it's a beautiful thing that we're all just trying to use these resources to lift each other up.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good to know.
That's good to know. That's really good to know. Because Chan always catch headaches, and if she had known that, I tried to tell her. She didn't listen to me. I tried to tell her, but it's all good. It's all good. So, Lindsay, what kind of advice would you give someone that's looking to upscale their life? They're like, I don't know if I want to take it because I'm scared, I'm nervous. The professor said I was never going to pass the test. What type of advice do you have for them?
Yeah. The only person holding you back is you. So if you just take that first initial step, the rest of it's just going to snowball right where it's supposed to go. So believe in yourself, invest in yourself, and believe that you can do it. And do not give yourself the excuse not to do it.
Wow. You forgot to tell them the most important thing. You could take trips to Florida.
Yeah. You can just never be in the house you bought. There you go.
Yes. Mrs. Chan.
Yes.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
Oh. What inspiring information do you have for the folks out there?
It's worth it. Invest in yourself. It's worth it.
Yeah. Perfect. Mrs. Pam?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Like Nike.
Just do it. Clock it. You said clock it?
Just clock it.
I can't do that, but I know it's only for women. I was about to do it. I was like, oh, can't do it. Can't do it. You gotta play it. I don't know what it is. I did it one time and said, don't do that, boy. I said, oh, my bad. So while you at it, Mr. Tony, what advice do you have to give to the people out there about, moving forward, getting ahead, living life to the fullest?
I feel like everybody that says something, they all kind of hit the nail on the head. For me personally, like, your past doesn't define your future.
Right.
Like, your past doesn't have to define where you're going, and it shouldn't, cloud your visions for this life that you have, that God has afforded us. Each and every day that you wake up, it's a blessing to be on this earth, and God has a plan for all of us.
Yes.
And we weren't made on this earth to sit stagnant and just be okay with mediocrity. Like, your people, your bubble and your mediocre could be up here instead of staying down here. What's mediocre to us as nurses, we go to work and we do a lot of things that, like, a lot of people shouldn't know about. That, and we come home with that, but that's because God put us here on this earth. So like follow your heart, man. Follow your heart, follow your vision, be a leader. Don't be a follower. Don't follow anybody.
Oh yeah.
Lead yourself.
Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna say, Mrs. A, I know you're not a nurse, but you can still give that advice. Give that good advice to inspire somebody.
I think, especially just knowing the people at this table a little bit, and then knowing Nick, nurses are givers, which is amazing, but you also have to fill your own cup because you can't pour from an empty cup. And something Nick really instills in all of his students, and he's instilled in me, is you have to be selfish sometimes. You have to put yourself first in order to be able to give back to other people, and in order to be a nurse and be in this profession. And I can't even imagine what nurses deal with day to day. So make sure you are taking care of yourself and filling your own cup so that you're able to also fill other people's as well.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Mrs. T, what do you got to say to the people? Because you said you had some, you try to do it the hard way.
Yeah.
You said, I'm gonna do it my way. I know what I'm talking about. And why not spend? How much you spend?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah,
We just
I
gonna
can't
say a
keep
lot. We're
up.
gonna say a
Yeah,
lot.
I
We're gonna say a
can do
lot.
it
We're
now.
gonna say a lot. So we're gonna ask you, what do you have to say to the people out there to give them some good inspiration?
Just to piggyback off Tony, the test doesn't define how smart you are or how good of a nurse you're going to be. So, don't let that stop you from what you didn't come this far just to come this far. I didn't spend $70,000 in school loans to not do nothing, to not be a nurse. That was my dream. That was my goal at the end of the day. And really, nothing is in your way but yourself. So
I love it. I love it.
yeah.
I can see one thing I can say about all of you nurses and what all of you nurses up here is that I think that all of you have good hearts. Because I don't think he would have you up here. He wouldn't have even had you on the show with us. So I believe, I'm looking at you guys. I'm like, they all have good hearts. So that's something special about you guys. I'm so glad that you guys came today. We want to give a special shout out to Mr. Ronnie Jackson. Man, he has a clothing line, Cute as John. It's very, very durable. It's very nice. It smelled good when it came in the package. Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because some of these packages come smelling like feces. But we ain't going to talk about all that. But yeah, it's very durable. So shout out to Mr. Ronnie Jackson. Me and my wife, he hooked us up.
That looks comfortable over there, too.
It's very comfortable.
It's
very comfortable. Yeah.
It's good quality, y'all,
Yeah.
too, because I love good quality.
And he's been in business for I don't want to get it wrong, but I know it's been at least over 10 years. Yeah, he's been doing this thing for over 10 years.
Well, we're working on getting swag for some of my gear. I think I'm going to have to call Ronnie. But
Okay, yeah, definitely. So we want to say thank you, Mr. Ronnie. But right now we want to say thank you to all the guests on the show. I can't even. What's that, baby?
I know. Before we close out,
Oh, go ahead.
well, we're not gonna close out yet because I want Nick to give his information before we close out. But I just want Nick on December 14th. If anybody out there, I am having another nurse talk. It's just going to be, another nurse talk on December 14th. And we're going to talk about being compassionate. We're going to do some scenarios of what goes on in a hospital, in a nursing home. And we're going to talk about a lot of people is in this for title driven and not being compassionate. So that's going to be the topic on December 14th.
that's going to be a good one.
That's good. Yes.
Yeah.
So before we close this out, Nick, can you tell them, where they can reach you at and, all your information before we close out so they can, get in contact with you? Because I know it's a lot of people. I work with a lot of people who, be like, when you taking your boards? I'm nervous. I'm scared. I'm not going to take it again. What can you tell them and then give them your information? Because I didn't tell a few people already about you who's scared to take their test.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always going to be 100% honest with everybody I talk to. You'll be able to contact me. CodeBreakerNCLEX.com. You go to my website. There's a contact us form that you can fill out. I will get that. I am extremely busy, but no text or message goes unanswered ever. I always get you back. If you're struggling to take the NCLEX and you failed it, the 6-week course is ideal, and I'll never let you down. I'll go over all the details. We can talk about the dates. I've got a class starting January 5th. My professor Tatum is going to be primary teacher for that. Of course, I'm going to be around and support her, but the structure is laid out. So January 5th is going to be the next 6-week cohort, and I still have about 10 spots for that class, and it'll fill up. And once it's full, I can't take too many students because it's unrealistic to think I'm going to be able to touch 50 people the way that I do with 30 up to 40 right now, okay? So the class will fill up. CodeBreakerNCLEX.com for the next January 5th class. If you're a new grad, you don't need the 6-week class. Now, there's some people that have high anxiety and they want to do it, but I'm not the one that's going to be on the phone to say, hey, I want you to take a 6-week course. PassWithPass.com, which you can get through my website, has these self-paced videos that are affordable. They're extremely affordable. They're efficient. They're to the point, and they're gold, okay? You'll know the 8 or 10 diagnosis. You'll know the trademark symptoms, the LADs that you need. And throughout that process, you're finishing my sentences. I'm staying encouraging. And that's extremely affordable. It's only $149 to get 30-day lectures from that website. So I'll get in touch with me through the website. You can Google me. Check my receipts. Check my Google reviews. Check every review you want. Like, they're all sincere. My website has testimonials from a lot of my students. And and none of them are bad, because at the end of the program, at the end of the day, I throw the accountability onto you, because with all the resources, the expectation, the teaching, the communication, you'll succeed. You just got to put in the work. So please message me. And I'm not a salesman. I hope you all didn't see that up here.
No,
I'm not a salesman. So I'll always be honest. And if it's not for you, that's okay. Like, God's got plans for everybody in different ways. And maybe it's somebody else or something else. But I'll be honest with you when we speak, and I will be the one that's answered the phone.
nice.
And then I just want to say one more thing. I think all of us up here can agree that if it's the price point that's stopping you, you cannot put a price on the feeling of finally passing the NCLEX. You can. So
There it is. Clock it. Yes, I love it. So yes, man, we really enjoyed having you guys. I learned some things that my wife always talk about. So yeah, I learned a lot. So that was really. I'm never gonna take any of the NCLEXs or any climaxes, nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I'm cool right here, but I really appreciate you guys giving your knowledge, your intellect, and your experiences to our audience. So let's clap up for that. And anytime you guys want to come on the show, to talk about your basketball thing, we could definitely do that, man, because it's very inspirational. I know a lot of guys, a lot of women and young men out there trying to get into something, and it's always great to have something to get into besides negativity. So that's a good thing. So
So for the basketball, you got an Instagram for Hoopers, right? What
I do, but look, don't judge me on my Instagram, man. 'Cause, you know, I'm not social media.
Just check it out. Get in touch with Tony.
It's Even Balance Hoops Training.
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, yeah, you can look it up on that. I just want to say thank you all for having us on here.
Yeah.
Because it's nerve-wracking when you roll up on a podcast at first. And I told you this is like my second one in like 3 weeks, and it was a blast. Y'all are
This was a good one.
right. Thank you.
and y'all doing a really awesome thing, representing the city and giving people a platform to really speak
Yes.
real life things and issues that are going on. So thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate it so much.
And you all can check Alyssa's great marketing on my Instagram, Codebreaker Learning, or Facebook, Codebreaker NCLEX, or TikTok, Codebreaker NCLEX. And there's a ton. I'm not like a goofy guy making funny videos. It's all educational stuff. So check out the Codebreaker NCLEX social medias, and you can watch free farm lectures on YouTube at Codebreaker Learning.
Okay.
Wow.
Awesome.
Nice. Yes. So we're going to end this podcast today. Product of the city. We love it. Everybody, we out. Peace.
Just a product of the city.